Okay, guys, Nathan Anderson here. Want to want to welcome everybody to the Truth Train. Just trying to get everything up to snuff here. Okay. Okay, here we go. Well, as most of you know, Roger Stone's house was raided yesterday with a grandstanding show of force in which, it could have just been, he could have been notified to come down to the courthouse, whatever, and go and turn himself in, but instead the FBI chose to grandstand and make it a big media event at Roger's house. And so he's due to be arraigned on Tuesday. And, I think that we all need to be in prayer for him, and that truth will prevail and that the truth will come out. That they're charging him with nothing to do with this underlying Russian collusion delusion that doesn't even exist. And they can't find anything to hang their hat on as far as that goes. So basically, what Mueller's trying to do is just fabricate crimes and charge people with so-called process crimes of quote-unquote lying to Congress, which in effect, if you're Stone and Corsi and these other guys, that have been brought in, they're just ask questions, rapid fire about things that happened, 2-3 years ago, and if memory doesn't serve correctly, then they're charged with lying, which is a bunch of crap. Especially on top of the reality that Comey and so many of these other, and McCabe and so many other of these deep state actors have lied to Congress about multiple times, and nothing ever happens to these people. Basically, just prosecutorial discretion, going after whoever they want to go after, and their buddies are left to go about their nefarious ways. But anyway, just kind of going forward, I want to give everybody just kind of an idea of what we're planning to do here. As some people know, the last time the Truth Train came on live on Trump is Saving America, our Facebook buddies, or the gremlins in the system, or whatever you want to call it, cut the feed off about a little bit over 7 minutes in. And God forbid that we point the finger at Facebook for chopping off the live feed. But anyway, Roger and I were actually we didn't find out until the broadcast was over, about a half hour later, that, look what happened. The feed got chopped off on Facebook here, about 7 minutes and 15 seconds in. But but what was a little strange about that was, on my phone, it said, it had the live icon up in the left-hand corner the entire time, which just a little bit of a head scratcher there as to wondering what happened. So anyway, we're trying to, how things kind of work out. it'll probably work out in a good fashion going forward, because just to guard against that, we're going to broadcast live. We've got the Truth Train channel up and going on YouTube, so let everyone know about that and go there. And I would appreciate any comments, and anyone that wants to appear on the show. We're all in the same boat here, folks, and we're trying to save the republic. And we're at a crossroads in history right now, and we certainly all need to hang together, or we will all hang separately, for darn sure. So anyway, that's what kind of the plan going forward. And of course, we're also working under the auspices of We the People's News, and have lots of fine articles there where you can get, among all of our friends in alternative media, you can get a lot of true articles. Roger's done a lot of fantastic research there, and revealing a lot of things. He's got a lot of stuff up about the UN and their plans. All these cabal agents are working together to try to bring Trump down, to try to retain their stranglehold of power in the world, and consolidate their power, and effectuate the ushering in of a new world order. And that is basically what they're all about. So anyway, I also want to just put my cards on the table and let you know, I'm kind of new at this sort of thing, but I think that there is a very real spiritual component to everything that's going on in the world right now. And there's just an awful lot of things going on. We don't know, from just common citizens out here, we can't absolutely confirm that the military tribunals are happening. There's been a lot of reports, a lot of anonymous people that have shared with many in the Patriot movement that supposedly are from the inside, and I can confirm that the tribunals are going forward. I'm sure it will all be revealed to us in time, but if they aren't, they certainly need to be, for darn sure. For decades, these pedophile rings, these child trafficking rings, have operated unfettered and unprosecuted, and hopefully Trump is going to bring all that to an end. It's horrible what's been happening in the child trafficking area, which probably plays along with the EO that Trump signed back in March of 18 to allow the president to seize property of these international child traffickers. And it certainly looks as if the framework has been established to deal with these folks. Pizzagate, all this stuff that's been going on that you never hear about in the mainstream news, and in fact, even among conservative outlets, you don't really hear much about this. It's, you know, they've managed to make it taboo even to bring it up, you know, about Pizzagate and the Podesta brothers and all this stuff that, quite frankly, a lot of evidence seems to indicate has proliferated throughout our government on both sides of the aisle. So then basically you've got this, the age-old struggle has kind of come to a head at this point between good and evil, and it's a high-stakes game. And you know, evil knows that its days are numbered, and so they're pulling out all the stops. You know, it's been suggested about kill switches, and that, you know, naturally they're not going to go down easy, and they're going to use all the power that they have access to, all of their resources to retain their power and to keep their freedom and to keep from being apprehended and to face justice. You know, it's been suggested that you know, they have kill switches in place, and you know, that with control of the State Department, that they actually have bioweapons at their access that they will unleash if push comes to shove. So hopefully something like that never happens. But just to address on the, as far as the Mueller side of things, what they're trying to accomplish there, you know, they want to take down Trump however they can, and they obviously view Roger Stone as a very real threat to their hold on power. And you know, he's revealed a lot. You know, he's written books about the Clintons, and he's done a lot of deep research into uranium-1, which if an full-scale investigation ever becomes conducted into uranium-1, then that right there is enough to take down the deep state. You know, you're talking about just absolute full-out espionage and treasonous activity, and just basically traitorous acts against the United States that resulted in 20% of our uranium reserves being transferred to the Soviets. They talk about Soviet collusion. I mean, it's just nothing but out and out projection. You know, they're accusing Trump of what they're doing, and that's pretty much what they've been doing. Whatever they do, they just accuse the other side of doing, and they obviously have still their tentacles dug in deep into the institutions of our government. You know, the Mueller probe is nothing but a farce based upon a fake dossier that was bought and paid for by Hillary. And they're fighting for their survival. So they're going on the attack, trying to accuse Trump of what they're doing. we've got lying to a FISA court judge, presenting made up, fake information presented as government intel, when in fact it was just a bogus, made up, fabricated story, and then leaked by Rosenstein, and and also Strzok and Page to the media, and then they used that the leakage of this dossier to the press as substantiation before the judge to get the warrants to surveil the opposing presidential candidate and his campaign. And not only that, so the surveillance during the transition. So you've got the efforts to undo the duly elected president picked in our electoral process by the citizens of this country. And they have appointed themselves to perform a self-coup to undo that election. That is traitorous by any definition of the term. And basically treason, punishable by execution. So hopefully all of these things are going to be coming out in the military tribunals in Guantanamo Bay very soon. Now, on the spiritual side of things, I've mentioned this before and I'll mention it again. I have had a dream and a vision pertaining to Guantanamo Bay. If any of you have had such things, it's been reported out there that a lot of people, this is coming in. A lot of people are having these experiences, and the Lord is giving us confirmation in that way that these things are coming down. And please, if you want to appear on the show and tell about yours, give me your contact information or anything you want to put down in the comment section talking about it. We all just need to jump into this stuff together and move in the ways that we're supposed to become informed and to do whatever God wants us to do in this regard to help, to aid in whatever way any of us can to save the Republic. The vision that I had, I saw military officers. They were in formal military dress, and their dress blues, whatever you want to call it. They were in a courtroom setting and moving towards an aisle and going up front. I saw that. It was just a brief vision there. And then immediately after that, I saw Trump's face with a great big smile on his face. So that was one thing that I saw. And then in the dream that I had, my wife and I were in a van, and Trump came in through the side door. And my wife said something about an incline at the top of a hill, which didn't make any sense. So Trump and I started laughing at that. And we all knew we were getting ready to go somewhere. And it didn't occur to me until later that when I thought about the hill, it occurred to me about Teddy Roosevelt charging up San Juan Hill, which is kind of indicative of Cuba. So, that kind of gives a little bit of certitude to me, and for those that have ears to hear, take that for whatever it's worth. And I was talking to a friend, sharing that dream with him recently, and talking about, that the incline at the top of a hill. And he said, well, probably what that is referring to is a man-made structure at the top of a hill. And he thinks that ties in with DC, which kind of makes sense. You talk about the hill, and the Capitol is on the top of the hill there. It kind of all ties in. But anyway, that's just one aspect of what we have to look at, is the spiritual component to this, because even if we're just talking about information that we get on Q drops or anything, we have to, as individuals, evaluate and discern any information that we have coming in by whatever modality it is, and come up with our own conclusions based upon our own research, based upon our own spiritual discernment. And we just have to proceed and try to do whatever we can. We've all got a job to do here, and as there's no job that's insignificant. We all have our part to play. We have all been uniquely blessed with our own specific gifts, and it may seem small, but maybe you're the only person in the world who can do that one particular thing, or do it to the ability that you can do it. So we all have a part to play in the saving of the Republic, and we all need to become involved in whatever way that the Lord calls us to do. And that's what I'm doing here. So in some small way, I hope to contribute to that. I'm going to, going forward, try to bring whatever I can as time permits regarding Roger Stone. I think it's this is critical, and we all need to pray for Roger. His courage is just over the top. And like I said in the title, he's on par with the signers, because his future is certainly in peril, but he made it quite clear that he is not going to give up some made up, tell the investigators what they want to hear. He's not going to flip. He's made that clear that he's not going to flip. He's going to stand on the side of truth, and with his future in great peril, he's putting it all on the line. And we need to stand with him, because he's the linchpin at this point. If he could very well be one of the major stopgaps that holding the line, that if they can't get Roger to flip, they may not be able, in the end, to get Trump out of there. So he's holding the line for all of us. We need to stand for him. And if you have not done so already, I would strongly implore you to go to the Roger Stone FundMe page and help him with his legal defense fund. He has been all but wiped out, paid out over $1 million already for legal fees, and he can't do it on his own, folks. He needs help. So, and he made it quite clear. He was on Alex's show yesterday, and he made it quite clear. He said that as long as the resources are available, he will fight this fight. But it's up to us to stand behind him and help fund Roger in his defense against these bogus charges designed, and they're not designed just to go after Roger. They're designed to, in the end, to take down Trump. So we all need to do that, to get out there and help Roger. I've done so, and I challenge everyone out there to do the same. It's not time to wait. It's not time to sit on our thumbs right now. If we don't spring into action, we could very well lose this country. It is that serious. And it's kind of now or never. So everybody needs to spring into action. We need to get off our duffs and do what we're called to do, whatever that is. So anyway, we shall be back on when needed. Keep an eye on the Truth Train YouTube channel. Subscribe to that, and we intend to bring a lot of good information out. Going to have Roger on, tell what's going on at We the People's News, and news about Roger Stone as we get it, and about Alex Jones, because they're going after him too. And they're going to go after these high-profile people, and like Alex said, they're not just it's not the end taking out Alex as a broadcaster. They intend to stamp out the First Amendment and basically shut us all up. So anyway, till next time, guys. God save the Republic. Let's hang in there. Like, share, and I appreciate the comments. If you want to appear on the show, put it down below. Message Trump is saving America. And hopefully we'll have a lot of good information. So, God bless you all. Have a great day.